let's go to that. Yeah.
Share the basket. Okay, I'll stop here. Introduce Tyler. And then I'll do this after Tyler speaks. So Tyler's going to speak.
Good morning. Oh, my goodness, we're coming back from summer, and we've all rested up, so I think we can give a better good morning than that. So good morning. All right. Boy, did we have a great summer here at Emerson. And I mean, we had the voices of Emerson speaking, and it was fabulous. And I got to tell you, there was over 100 people each week showed up at Emerson. That's fabulous. Let's give us a hand. The first day back of our choir. Kathy, was it 2 weeks, 2 rehearsals? And we've got it going. So our choir is back, okay? I want to welcome you to Emerson. And by the way, my name's Ed Cosper, in case anybody didn't know. Especially, I want to welcome today's visitors and those who are here in person and those who are online. Unitarian Universalism is an ambiguous, unapologetically progressive. This congregation affirms the inherent worth and dignity of all people through anti-racism, anti-oppression, supporting the LGBTQA+ community, and working for reproductive justice, voting rights, and other issues, as the world calls us to side with love and to be centered with everything that we do is centered in love. We seek to build a beloved community, not only here, but in our surrounding area. And we bring a spirit of joy to it all. It is so good to be together this morning. I'm excited. I'm ready. So let's get going. I'd like to ask Garnet, would you come and assist us with our chalice lighting this morning? Okay, my bad. I had so many things going on this morning that I forgot to light the flame to light the chalice. So we're going to do it now. It's called Light My Fire. We light this chalice as a symbol of reunion. We reunite in this sanctuary to share the flow of our hearts and to share it with one another. We gather together in ritual to celebrate our fountains of joy, to hold each other through storms of grief, to guide one another through rapids of transformation, to rest together on ponds of stillness. Together, we honor the spirit of water as it changes in its many forms and offers its life-giving essence. And now, in the spirit of love and beloved community, let's greet and welcome each other to this new day as we share our congregational affirmation, we need not think alike to love alike. And now, let's greet your neighbor and welcome each other to this new day. Those in the sanctuary, feel free to move around and offer greetings. And for those online, please use the chat to introduce yourself.
What a joy it is to be back together after a summer. Even though we were here in the sanctuary with such large numbers, there's still a sense of a breath, of taking a break. And this Sunday is our formal beginning of the congregational year. I'm Reverend Christina Branum-Martin, and it is so good to be with you. This is also the beginning of my second year with you, and I'm so glad. If you came for the first time today, you came for a special ritual that we do in congregations, in Unitarian Universalist congregations at this time of the year. We hold a similar service that revolves around the school year of our calendar. And I'm going to read this part, okay? Did you know that some of the congregations actually close in the summer? And I didn't really understand why until I visited some friends who are ministers up in the Northeast, where historically they closed because the buildings were so hot and they didn't have air conditioning. So what a blessing that we have that opportunity. I even went to Savannah to visit their sanctuary, and it was closed for the summer because it's so historical and old that they don't have air conditioning either. So yay for air conditioning. I don't know about you too, but I went outside the last couple of mornings and felt a little chill in the air and thought fall is actually going to come. You can read this part.
This Sunday, as summer draws to a close, we celebrate a time of transition, a season of change, one of the hinges of the year. The calendar says it is still summer. Our minds read the seasons more clearly. The sudden flocking of birds, the subtle spots of red on the maple, the feel of cool air in the early morning. And we know we are nearing summer's end.
Our hearts still cling to warm sunlight and green, verdant trees. We still have long days and short nights, and yet there is a season of pause and renewal. Already, autumn is coming. As
is our custom, we welcome each other back to the world of responsibilities and possibilities, and to the homebound and to the work-bound joys and duties of autumn and winter. In this service, we will bring together waters from our daily lives and responsibilities from our sojourns elsewhere as we remember and as a reminder that we come from many different paths, yet we are one.
Let us celebrate life itself by sharing one of our favorite hymns, Spirit of Life, number 123. And the words will be projected here too, if you know the tune already. Would you come help me? We move to a time now where we acknowledge the matters that are in our heart. And my child, Garnet, will place the stones today. The stones themselves have weight, and they are indicative of both pleasures and times of ease as they are smooth, but also the times of heaviness and burdens. And the water receives those stones with ease and calmness. Each week as you come into the sanctuary, you are invited to put what's on your mind and in your heart in this book. And if you are at home online, you can email it to pastoralcare@emersonuu.org, and we will share it here in the sanctuary. We start by placing 3 stones, and the first is in honor of the Cherokee and the Muskogee nations, of the indigenous peoples who lived on this land before we came. The second is to acknowledge and always remember those who were wrongly enslaved and who labored on this land. And third, for those hurting in conflicts around the world. We have quite a few things to share today. Jeff Jones and Carol Buffum grieve the death of Jeff's sister and Carol's sister-in-law, Diane Poland, who died this past week. We're with you. Kathy and Ed Cosper's hearts were heavy this week as they remembered with love and care the anniversary of their daughter's death, Melissa. We hold you with compassion, Kathy and Ed. And Mason also shares that a dear friend, Lance, died this past week, and Anne will miss him. James Huey is back from the hospital. He's been ill with congestive heart failure and COVID, which complicated things. And March and James are appreciative of your good wishes as he heals at home. And Bernadine Codaletta fell on her knee and broke her kneecap. She'll be in a cast, one of those Velcro casts, thankfully, for a while. Can't bend her knee, and Tom will be caring for her as she heals. And we're going to end with 2 celebrations. The first, by Stephanie, shares that son Russell and his partner Bentley have been in Alabama for 7 years, and next month are relocating back to Marietta. And Rebecca Carlson celebrates her father's 84th birthday this week. Would you place one last stone, Garnet, for the things that have yet to be shared? Because maybe they are too raw. Maybe you're just not ready. And know that we are here for you when the time is right. Let us share as we close the Buddhist prayer of loving kindness, the words in your order of service, and hopefully here on the screen. May we all be filled with loving kindness. May we all be free from harm and suffering. May we all be well in body, heart, and mind. May we all be at peace. And then I invite Anne to come forward and share information about Share the Basket, and I'm looking for Anne.
She's a singer.
There you are. The choir's back, and I forgot to look back. Thank you so much, Anne.
Unitarian Universalist is a faith often referred to as one of deeds, not creeds. How we show up in the world is how we live our faith. One way we seek to do this is by partnering with other organizations who work to bring love, kindness, and justice to the world. During the month of August, we are supporting the Extension. Located in Marietta, it serves adults who are successfully dealing with substance challenges and who are also experiencing homelessness. I want to introduce to you Tyler Driver, who is a member of Emerson and also the CEO of the Extension. I hope I got that right.
Thank you, and thank you is really the point of me being here this morning. You know, we all wonder, and we all wonder, and that wondering brought us here, and most importantly, it brought us here together. And it is what this congregation does beyond Share the Basket, and we are extremely grateful. I believe the money is going to go to buying some exercise equipment for the women in our women's program, and they are going to be so appreciative of that. But perhaps more importantly is the support that you give to this congregation, which inspires so many people that come into our organization and share their love with the people that we serve. So it is beyond just this month of Sharing the Basket that I want to thank you for. You're absolutely incredible people. I appreciate your welcome, and I appreciate what you do every Sunday, every other day of the week, all year round to support our organization. So thank you. I know there's some other good things going on, but love to see you in the fellowship hall, and we'll share a little bit about the Extension. I have a couple of alums of our women's program who are expected to be here, and so we'll have a good time. So please join us if you can, and if you can't, I'm easy to find. Give me a call. We'll have lunch, we'll have dinner. I'll have breakfast with you, not a morning person, but I'll do it anyway. Or just drop by. Coffee's always fresh, the donuts never are, but just come by and hang out with us a little bit, all right? Thank you.
Also, if you want to, you can go in the Justice Room, room 103, right back there. We have a little display and some newsletters from the Extension. And also in the narthex, we have a little poster so that you can learn more about this great service, this great organization. For those in the sanctuary, as the basket is passed now, please feel free to offer a donation or see in your order of service other ways to give. For those online, go to emersonuu.org and select the Giving tab. All donations, unless otherwise noted, are equally shared between Emerson and the Extension this month. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michael Lukens, and I serve our congregation as Emerson's Director of Family Ministries. So this morning, we are going to welcome students who are turning 8 years old. This is an opportunity for us as a congregation to strengthen our belief in the third UU principle of acceptance of one another and encourage spiritual growth as an integrated or intergenerational community. As I call the names of the students we are welcoming to worship this morning, I would like for their parents to join them up here on the stage. Right here. Christina will show you where to go. Reverend Christina will. All right. So first, Theo Douglas, Kiriana Cascade, Cora Jean-Pierre, Sydney Baumil, and Henry Ramos Yilmaz. I think we have a few absentee people, so.
Unitarian Universalist research studies show that there are 15 religious habits which are indicators that encourage a person to have a full life of active Unitarian Universalist faith. That was a long sentence.
It wasn't.
One of the strongest influences in faith development and practice is attending regular worship services as a child and a teen. Regularly is defined as 2 to 5 times a month. And that might go for all of us. Yeah. Emerson is a congregation that formally welcomes children into our program so that we can foster and support our children's Unitarian Universalist faith development, and including them in our worship with open arms, with all the wiggles and sounds of lollipop wrappers and giggles and coloring behind us is part of that. And I am so glad to be part of a community that has such an intergenerational program.
So at this time, I'd like everyone to get out the insert that's inside your program, because just as everyone here has a part in welcoming each child, everyone has a part to say. So Reverend Christina and I will start reading each group, well, I'll start reading each group's words, and you can join us when it is your turn. First, we'd like to start with those up here in the choir and the worship leaders, Kathy and Bruce included. And then next, it will be the parents, then the children and youth that are in the service, and followed by the congregation. So by the end of this, our hope is that all of you have no doubt that you are welcome here. So I'd like everyone to stand as you are able. All right. Let's see if we can do this, right? All right, choir and everyone up here, ready? We welcome you and invite you to sing with joy as we raise our voices together in community, and also listen with your heart when we share special music in this special time and place in peace together. All right, parents, you ready? We welcome you and offer our promise to be here with you in patience and love in this special time and place in peace together. All right, my kids, youth and kids, you ready? We welcome you. Oh, I didn't even hear you. Hello, youth and kids.
We'll read it with them.
Yeah. We welcome you to our community of faith that learns from listening with not just your ears, but our hearts and minds together in this special time and place, in peace together. All right, the rest of the congregation. We welcome you and offer our friendship and help as join this special time and place, in peace together. All right, ready? We welcome you and promise to be here to explore the wonder of the mysteries of life and help you find safety and hope in each Sunday in this special time and place in peace together. Congratulations and welcome to worship. You are grown up enough now that you don't have to go to nursery. So this is awesome. You have hit that age, guys. Yes. All right. So as a gift, Reverend Christina has a gift for you, and it's wrapped in a bag, special like a present. But it's a special book that will help teach you about the 7 principles. And guys, there's stickers in the back. We got this. All right, you may return to your seats, and parents, you can go with them.
Okay, we like all the, what do we call them? Young at heart. Come on down, we're gonna have a story. Uncle is gonna tell you a story this morning. Come on down, all you young at heart. And some of you are young and sitting there acting like you, I know. Come on over this way. Come on here. Come on over this way. You gotta get over this way. Come on. Guys, let's move. Come on, bring it over. Come on. Bus driver skills coming up. Come on. Move it, baby, move it. All right, there we go. Wow. You know, we're centered today on water and rain. And I want to read a story to you by Christian Mayer. The name of the story is The Keeper of the Rain. Sit forward. Be ready. Be ready to listen. Not so very long ago, in a land not so very different than this one, lived the keeper of the rain. Each day, the keeper of the rain carefully watched the plants and creatures, and when they began to droop and thirst, she whispered the word that brings the rain, and they stood tall again. The keeper of the rain carefully listened to the rivers and streams, and when they swelled to a roar, she whispered the word that sends the rain away. And they were quiet again. After many such days, more than you or I could count, the keeper was weary. She was tired of always watching, always listening, always paying attention to other things and beings. And in fact, a new keeper had been born and was just a little boy. It would be years before he would be ready to take over. But I can't wait another year, said the keeper. So she went to find the boy. She heard splashing coming from the pond, and as she peered through the cattails and saw the boy standing knee-deep in water, he bent over. He plunged his hands into the bottom of the pond, and he stood up with an armload of muck and wriggly cat crayfish. Yuck. He is young, thought the keeper. But, then again, I was young too. She walked through the cattails and into the water. She bent over, and for a few minutes, she whispered into the boy's ear. And she was done. She stood. As she was done, she stood and she smiled for the first time in ages as she walked away. The boy stood watching her for a while until the crayfish wriggled loose and plopped back down into the pond. He bent over in search of the creature and forgot all about the keeper and what she had told him. The boy stayed splashing and playing in the water until his lips turned blue and quivered. Then he tromped up through the sand and grass to the sun-warmed rocks. His favorite rock was low and flat and as ancient as the rain. The boy lay basking in the sun, listening to the peeping frogs and telling the rock his stories. And the rock listened and laughed in that low, rumbling way of rocks. Then, the next day, the boy again stayed splashing and playing in the water till his lips turned blue and quivered. Then he tromped up through the sand and grass to the sun-warmed rocks, where he lay basking in the sun, listening to the peeping frogs and telling the rock his stories. Then all of a sudden, the sky turned dark. The wind became cool, and cold, wet raindrop fell on his back. "I don't like the rain," said the boy, as more raindrops fell. And then he remembered the keeper and what she had told him. He whispered the word that sends the rain away, and the raindrops stopped. The sun reappeared. The boy lay back down on the rock, and each day after that, the boy splashed and played in the pond until his lips turned blue and quivered. Then he tromped up through the sand and grass to the sun-warmed rocks. He lay basking in the sun, listening to the peeping frogs and telling his stories. And if raindrops came, he simply whispered them away. Many such days passed, and as the boy lay basking in the sun, the rock asked,
"Have you noticed the trees and plants are turning yellow?"
The boy sat up and he looked and he said, "But I like the color yellow."
The rock said, "They need rain."
"I don't like rain," said the boy. "I know," said the rock. Many more days passed, and as the boy lay basking in the sun, the rock asked,
"Have you noticed the trees and plants are turning brown?"
The boy sat up and he looked and he said, I like the color brown."
"Well, they need rain," said the rock.
"I don't like rain," said the boy.
"I know," said the rock.
Many more days passed, and as the boy lay basking in the sun, the rock asked, "Have you noticed you have to walk farther and farther to get to your pond?" The boy sat up and he looked and he said, "Who moved my pond? Who moved my pond?"
"No one," said the rock.
"It needs to rain." The boy sat and he listened for a moment. "It's too quiet." He said, "The frogs aren't even peeping."
"Frogs cannot live without rain," said the rock.
"Nothing can live without rain." Then the boy felt a heaviness in his chest. He had no words to whisper it away. He felt the warm sun on his back, which felt so good, but the weight in his chest, it felt awful. Finally, he whispered the word that brings the rain. Cold, wet raindrops fell, and the boy shivered, but he let the rain, and he let it rain. And when the rivers and streams swelled to a roar, he whispered the word that sends the rain away. "I still don't like rain," said the boy, "but I love my pond."
"I know," said the rock.
The end. So I have one big question that I've got to ask you. This is the biggest question of all. What color were the boy's lips? Blue? And what else did they? They quivered. Yes.
There creatures can survive without water for a long time?
They can. Oh my God.
Camels and tardigrades.
Oh, ooh, I'm learning about camels, and okay, sounds good.
So you sing our song?
No,
So I invite all of us to stand. We're going to make a rainstorm together. Some of you may have done this before. And why don't you turn your mic off?
okay.
Thank you. And I'm thinking, Michael, will you hold this for me? We're going to start by rubbing our hands together. And snapping. Add a little wind. Boom, boom.
Kaboom!
We did it. Good job. We come together now for some time for meditation, prayer, and reflection. And last night there was rain. And I don't know if you know that the power was out in the building for a while. I was here at 6 o'clock. I was here all by myself. It was a little creepy. So I went home thinking today's service might not happen. And I prepared to come in the morning, and if the power was to still be off, we'd all set up tables outside and eat cake. So I am thankful as we come into this time to be together with you today with power and air conditioning. It takes water to make air conditioning. You know, the strength of water takes on many, many forms. And just as each of you has a unique and necessary strength that you bring to this community and to the world itself, you do so with a spirit of love. So take a moment now and take a breath and drop down into the deep wellspring of your spirit and bathe yourself in the strength that is the groundwater of your person. Are you a roaring fall, wearing rock away with the sheer force of your will? Are you a tiny drop in a crevice, breaking it open slowly and steadily? Are you buoyant, like the Great Salt Lake, practicing at holding others aloft? Are you tenacious, like a mountain stream, finding your way down and around every obstacle you face? Are you still and calm like a pond at daybreak, offering radiant peace by your shores? Are you in touch with hidden depths pulling from a vast well? Do you soothe like the steam rising from a cup of tea? Do you dissolve away stubborn muck like water left in a pot to soak? Do you soften and smooth the edges like the creeping fog? Do you clear away distraction like a cleansing rain as we had last night? And do you roll with the ebb and flow like the ocean waves? Settle your mind upon the strength, the power that is yours, and draw that strength into your heart. Draw it deep into your body. And today, in our ritual, as we gather waters of this community, we need each of your powers, each of your resiliences, and each of the loves that you bring to make all of us whole. I am grateful for you and all that you bring. May it be so.
Fast as I can.
Water. Water is the central element of life. It is the life force of the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part. And today we bring water from our past, and it symbolizes our journey into the future, and we will blend it and ourselves into one tapestry today. Here in the present moment to which we have arrived, and in so doing, we are reminded that change is ever present, and we are invited to accept change and challenge into our lives with grace. In a few moments, we'll be invited to come forward and place water into the bowl. Now, don't worry if you didn't bring water, because your heart and mind can imbue into that water what you need it to be. That water is your own. Ed, will you get the water from the years past and pour it into the bowl? I saved some water from last year. Last year's water we poured into the garden, but I saved just a little. And at the end of this service, we'll save a little again, pour the rest into the memorial garden, and we'll carry that water into our future ceremonies. And you might see some boards up here. These are water painting boards. Some people call them a Buddha board or a Zen board. And let me explain how they work. You can paint onto these boards with water. No chemicals, no dyes, but the special paper absorbs the water, and then right away it starts to evaporate. Would you give an example, Ed? This year's theme for me and what I study and bring to you is that we are in a year of invitation. I want to think about what I want to need and bring into my own life, and I will share that journey with you. So what I'm inviting you today is to paint a letter, a symbol, a small little swirl, anything that comes to mind that will represent what you would like to invite into your life and into this community. So after you pour your water, step aside and add to the art board. And we will bring and invite what we need into our lives by doing this together. Next week, I'll be talking about what invitation can look like. Perhaps it's an invitation for what you need by reaching out to be with friends more often. Perhaps it's an invitation to sit still more often. Perhaps it's an invitation to run and laugh and exercise more often. We will explore this, and I look forward to sharing that journey with you. How about if I invite the choir to come first and pour water? There's water there for you, or if you have water, bring it with you.
Visitors are welcome to participate. Visitors can participate.
Before we sing our closing hymn together, I want to share that I heard from some that water came from across the globe. And from others, I know the water I brought came from the East Coast and a river in North Carolina. And others brought water from their pool. Another person from their garden hose. And another person from the tap down the hall because they realized, oops, I forgot my water. That water has been a part of this existence for all of our lives and all of time. I find it so amazing to know that the molecules that exist and the water droplets that keep us alive have been around for all of time. And here it is, blessing us today as we do each other. Let's sing together. There's a river flowing in my soul, number 1007. It's in the Teal book if you need the music.
Let's hear it for Bruce.
It starts with a drop, then a trickle, a burble, and a rush of water bubbling toward its destination, and finally, water comes to the endless sea. All rivers run to the sea, and today you brought water and we poured it into a common bowl. And though our experiences differed, these waters mingle, signifying our common humanity. Today you come as we begin this new year and we shared in this sacred ritual. May you depart this space made sacred by your presence, with hearts filled with hope for new beginnings. May today be a fresh start, like when rain washes things away. Go forth and return to this community where the rivers of tears may be shed, where dry souls can be watered, and where your joy can bubble over and your cup can overflow. Where deep in the spirit you have found a home here where all rivers run to the sea. And Garnet will join us one more time to extinguish the chalice.
As our chalice is extinguished this morning, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world until we are together again. Okay, so just a few announcements this morning. The adult religious opportunities, you can find those in your order of service. I know that there's some great stuff going over in the Justice Room. I believe, Tyler, you're going to be there to talk about the extension and whatever. We will also have reflections here in the sanctuary, and please come and join me for reflections. But before we get to all of that, we got to hear from Michael Lukens.
All right, good morning. I just have a couple of announcements. Families and parents and everybody else, we love having our youth and our kids light the chalice. So you'll be getting another email with the chalice lighting sign up. Any kid, child can do it. Also watch for information. We have a new junior Musicians of Emerson group that we're starting. We have the Mountains Cons that are coming up. So you're gonna get a barrage of stuff from me today. So just make sure you're paying attention, watching, signing up, doing all that good stuff. And a reminder, GSA is in third hour today. So anyone 11 years old or older can attend. And unfortunately, we don't have RE today. So we will not, you can have cake and all that, but we won't have classes.
Will we have bubbles?
Oh, during cake time, we will have bubbles, yes.
I think that that's the most important part, is the cake and bubbles. Did you hear cake? That's all I heard. That's all I heard. Yeah, I'm on this diet, keto, whatever it is, and
It's good, it's carrot cake.
it's it's carrot cake. Kathy, don't. Okay. So join us for our second hour activities, and please join us in the fellowship hall for refreshments. And as our service ends, go now in peace. Oh,
We have an announcement too, sorry, George.
oh, one more.
Yeah, sorry, need to bust it. That was so good, he was gonna be so good, and I'm gonna bust up his day. Keith, if you could put that slideshow on, if you could, George, I'll let you talk. I had to break up the row here.
Oh, it's okay. So, most of you are probably already aware about the cottage meetings. We have had some signups going on. We're going to give you one more opportunity and make it a little bit easy. Douglas created this slideshow. I think one of the best things the board did in recent years is to appoint Douglas as vice president. Give him a hand. He's so organized. And he's so together. Makes this look good. I'm going to actually hand this back over to you to go through the slides.
Okay, so really quickly, Keith, if you'll switch the slide. So what is a cottage meeting?
Next slide, please.
Yeah. There we go. Cottage meetings are small groups of meetings where we're going to get together in individual members' homes, and we're going to discuss the direction of the ministry here at Emerson this year, okay? We're going to have surveys distributed at the meetings so that you can provide commentary. There will be questions that you can answer, and then a free-form space to provide information. Everything will be anonymous, but the whole point of this is, if you'll switch to the next slide, please, we are going to talk about sample things like, how is our religious community going today, what's working, what's not. And the most important part is we also have to, which we'll get to in a minute, discuss whether or not we want to make a call to our current minister to continue our position indefinitely, all right? Then, as I said, there'll be a free-form space to be able to see comments that you can make in the service. If you'll switch to the next slide, how you sign up. There's a sign-up flap in your order of service today. If you'll drop those off with the greeters when you leave. If you haven't already done so, when all of the slips are and sign up, and I'm also going to put an extra way to sign up in this week's notebook. Our compiled Melanie LeMay will contact the hosts and ask them to contact you to decide when you can come to their home. We'll also provide a Zoom link for those who cannot attend in person. Melanie's going to group you by zip code, so you won't have to drive too far, hopefully. And then we will, the deadline to sign up is next Sunday, and then the host will be meeting with you sometime in September, so that, next slide, please. We need you to come to, this didn't look as good on the screen as it did on my laptop. But nonetheless, October 20 is the big deal, congregational meeting. At that meeting, the primary focus of the agenda will be the vote on whether or not to call our current minister as our sitting minister. Is that the right word, sitting minister?
Yes,
Okay.
called minister.
It requires a 60% quorum of the voting members to be in the room, or we have proxies, and we'll also, I think, be able to do the Zoom voting again this time. But we have to have 60% of the voting members, and then the affirmative answer has to be 90% of the people who vote. So that is important that you show up so that we can conduct the business of the congregation at that meeting. Anything that I skipped, George?
No, I think you covered everything, so thank you so much. And everybody, make sure you fill out one of these, whether you want to attend a Zoom meeting in person at the host's home, or attend the Zoom meeting, which you can do from the comfort of your own home, and turn them in with the greeters at the end of the service as you exit the sanctuary, please.
Thank you. All right, now, Ed, you can do your thing.
And now our service is ended, and go now in peace, and take peace wherever you go.